Welcome to the tutorial for Panel Legend 2, an app from Snappy Appz that will allow you to create professional-looking panel schedules that fit any sized panel board. This video will cover the entire app, so if you're looking for something particular, please view the timestamps in the video description to jump to specific sections. We will be covering job management, job editing, Panelboard Management, as well as Panel Legend Editing. With that said, let's get started. Let's go ahead and open the Job Management screen by clicking the Jobs menu item. From this screen, you will create and delete jobs. All of your panel legends are saved under the selected job to keep things organized. The Job module opens to the Job Management screen. At this point, there will be no jobs created, but you will still notice a job in the jobs list named No Job. This is where the other modules will store their data if there are no jobs or no jobs are selected. Let's go ahead and create a new job. To create a job, simply type in the name of the job into the text field at the top of the screen and then click the green plus button. The new job will instantly be created and added to the job list below. The job list is sorted by date and time, with the most recent job being at the top of the list and your oldest job being at the bottom of the list. Now let's go ahead and create a few new jobs to work with. If you need to delete a job, there are 3 ways to delete a job. The first is to swipe left on any job name in the job list. This will reveal a delete button, and if you simply click it, the job will be deleted. The second method is to perform a long left swipe across the entire screen. This will delete the job in a single motion. The third method is to click the Edit button in the top right corner of the screen. Select the job you want to delete, and then click the red delete button on the right of the screen. Once you are done, you can click the Done button on the top right. Now let's go ahead and edit a job. To do this, click a job name from the job list and the detail screen will open. The job detail screen will show basic information in 3 sections: the job, a site contact, and a supplier section. Each of these sections allows you to enter data and use shortcut buttons to contact or navigate to the respective section. Let's go ahead and fill in the information for this job. The blue map buttons will open your default navigation app with the address entered into it in order to navigate to this location. The blue telephone button will open your telephone app with the number of the contact already entered into it. There is also a blue telephone icon in the top right of the main menu screen, which is a quick shortcut to call your supplier. None of the information here is required and is simply here as a convenience to keep track of jobs. To back out of the detail screen, simply click the back button in the top left of the screen. Back on the job management screen, you'll notice there is now a green check mark beside the job you just edited. This indicates that this job is a selected job and all data will be saved under this job until another job is selected. To select another job, simply click into the detail screen of that job and back out. The job will automatically be the selected job as indicated, again, by the green check mark. That is about all there is to the job module, so let's back out. You will now notice that the selected job name and job number will be indicated from the main menu. Now enter into the Panelboard Management screen by clicking the Panelboards menu item. This is the screen where we will add, delete, and generally manage our panel legends. The first thing to note on the screen is the active job being displayed at the top of the screen. This is the currently selected job, and so we will only see panelboards created under that job. To create a new panelboard, simply type the name of the panelboard into the text field at the top of the screen, and then click the green plus button. The panel will be created and added to the list below. Let's go ahead now and create some panels that we can work with. Much like the job module, there are 3 ways to delete a panel legend. The first is to do a quick swipe left on any panel, and then click the delete button. The next method is a long swipe left, which will delete the panel in one movement. And the last is to click the edit button in the top right corner, select the panel you want to delete, and click the delete button. And then click done to return. To edit or work on a panel legend, simply click on the panel legend name in the panel legend list. This will bring up the detail screen where you can edit this panel legend. When you first open a panel legend, the default legend will appear, a 42 circuit 3-phase legend. Before we go into the editing, let's go through all the buttons on the screen and what they do. The button in the top right corner is the share button. Pressing this button will bring up a shared dialog allowing you to print, email, text, or otherwise share or save your legend. Next, you'll notice a bar of buttons just above your panel legend. The button on the left opens the panel legend settings screen. This is where you will adjust things such as size of your legend, number of circuits, legend style, and much more. This is typically your first stop when you create a new legend. The button on the far right will open the circuit editing screen, where you will edit the selected circuits. We will dive deeper into both these buttons shortly, as they will be used often when creating your panel legend. The 4 buttons in the middle are for circuit selection. Circuits can be selected individually by clicking a circuit number in the legend, such as this. However, these 4 buttons allow for quick selection of large groups of circuits. The button on the left will deselect all circuits. The next button will select all circuits on the left. The next button will select all circuits on the right. And the final button will select all of your circuits. You may also deselect circuits from the selection. Now let's look at the buttons on the bottom bar of the app. The first button on the bottom bar is the paintbrush button. Pressing this button will draw in phase coloring to your circuit numbers. It's a toggle button, so pressing it again will turn off your phase coloring. Be aware setting your panel to single phase or 3-phase will affect the coloring of the circuits. The next pair of buttons look like a magnifying glass with a plus and a magnifying glass with a minus. This pair of buttons allows you to zoom in and zoom out on your legend. The zoom factor will not affect the physical size of the legend, but does allow you to easily work on larger legends. The next pair of buttons allow you to increase the number of poles and decrease the number of poles on any selected circuit. Simply select the circuit you want to adjust and click the plus button once to create a 2-pole breaker. Pressing again will create a 3-pole breaker. By selecting the first circuit in a multi-pole breaker and pressing the minus button, you can revert that breaker back to less poles. You can also adjust multiple selected circuits at once. For example, let's create 3 2-pole breakers. I will select circuits 1, 5, and 9, and then press the poles plus button. Now we have 3 2-pole breakers. And the final pair of buttons are for font sizing. Press the plus button to increase the font size on selected circuits, and press the minus button to decrease the font size on any selected circuit. Font size and number of polls can also be changed from the circuit editing screen, but these buttons allow it to be done quickly and easily from the main screen. I'm not going to go through every setting and button in the panel editing screen or the circuit editing screen. However, I'm going to walk through creating a complex panel legend and demonstrate the use of both screens. So let's go ahead and get started on creating a panel legend. So here we are with a default panel legend. So the first thing I usually like to do is go into the panel editing screen. So we'll go ahead and click this button. And we'll go ahead and select the size that we want this to print out. Now there's a few different ways to type in your size. You can type in, if you're just working in inches, you can simply type in a number. So we'll go 8 inches. And you'll see it instantly changes to 8 inches up here. If we want to do centimeters, we could do 20 and then put a cm. And that'll change it to centimeters. And then we'll go ahead and put a width in. Let's go 4 inch. We can also type in 4 inch, but really makes no difference. Okay, so underneath that, now that we have our size of our legend, we will go ahead and select our circuitry. So number of circuits, we'll just hit the minus and plus button. Let's go ahead and do something small so we can see it all on screen. So let's go with the 20 circuit. Top left circuit's going to be circuit 1, and the top right circuit is going to be circuit 2, and we're going to increment those numbers by 2 every time. So down the left side, you'll see a 1, 3, 5 as you would typically see. So I'm going to leave that alone. Tandem breakers will give us A and B breakers if we select that, but we're going to go ahead and not do that for this one. And legend style, when you click on that, it'll actually visually show you the legend styles. So I'm going to keep it on the one that we have selected with circuit numbers on the outside and amperages on the inside. But there are several to choose from here. Show phase colors. Since I'm doing a single phase panel, I'm not going to show phase colors. And I'm going to go ahead and change that to a single phase panel, as if we're doing a residential panel. That's about it for the legend settings. So let's go ahead, and the next thing I typically do is I work on my header. So we just click the header. And from here, a lot of time on a residential panel, I will put in the address. So we'll put in 23 Pine Street for our header. We don't need that much height on it, so we're just going to make it a little thinner. Font size, maybe we'll go up a bit on the font size. Arial font I do typically use, but you'll see it will support every font in your phone. We'll go back out, keep that on Arial. Foreground color is the text color. I'm going to keep that black, but I'm going to change the background color to a pastel blue. And that's about it for my title, so I'm going to back out. And you'll see our title has all the properties that we've set for it. So now we'll go ahead and edit our subheader. So to do that, we just click on our subheader. I'm going to change that to the voltage and size of the panel. So we'll go with a 120 240 volt residential panel at 100 amps. You can put anything you want in here, but I usually reserve this bar for the panel voltage and amperage. I'm going to make it a little less high. This will adjust the height of it. I'm going to leave the font size at 12 point, leave the font at Arial, and I'm going to change the background color to a light gray. I always like the look of that combo. Okay, so now that we're done our header and subheader, we're going to go ahead and start working on our circuits. So I'm just going to zoom in a bit so I can see them better, fits the screen a little better. And I'm going to go ahead and make some 2-pole circuits first. So I'm going to make our stove and our dryer and our AC. So these three I want to change to 2-pole. So I'm going to select 1, 5, and 9, and I'm going to hit the pole plus button. And that'll give us some 2-pole breakers to work with. And then I will deselect all circuits just so I don't mess them up from here on in. Now, just to select the, to change the description of the circuit, I simply click on the description, which says empty by default. And I'll go ahead and select all this and put stove. And I will select this one and put, say, dryer. And let's select this one and put AC. Now you'll see our amperages are wrong, so I'm going to want to change those. So I'm going to select our stove first, 1 and 3. We can edit these directly actually, so we can click these and say put in a 40 amp and click this one and put in a 40 amp. Or another way to do it is we can select our dryer. We can go to our circuit settings, selected circuit settings. So we have 5 and 7 selected. Going to go into our selected circuit settings and change our amperage to 30. Then we'll go back out to our panel legend and it'll change those to 30. And then you want to deselect all just so you don't leave that dryer selected. And let's go ahead and change our AC to a 20 amp. And there we go. Those are all set. So next I want to show a circuit that might have too much text in it and what we're going to do about that. So let's go ahead and click on circuit 13. And we'll put in our classic old school circuit that does everything. So let's go kitchen, lights, outdoor, right here, there we go, racks. What else? I don't know, bathroom, fan. I don't know, dining, racks. Okay, let's go ahead and try that. So let's back out of there. We'll see, obviously it doesn't fit now. Yeah, pretty close though. So it automatically multi-lines it because our panel legend's so nice and big and low circuit. But if we select this and hit our font minus, we'll be able to minus our font size down until everything fits neatly. So let's stick with that. And then we'll go deselect all. And yeah, that's how we can individually select our font size for a circuit so the large description fits. And then one of the final things I want to show is how we can edit several circuits at once. So let's go ahead and make a bunch of spares, say at the bottom of the panel. So let's go and select our bottom panel circuits and go into our circuit editor. And now we're going to, anything we do in here is going to affect all those circuits. So we're going to put spare and back out, and you'll see all those become spare. And then maybe we might want to color code those ones. I guess a better example would be maybe if we were color coding all of our receptacle circuits. So let's say our 2, 4, and 6, our receptacle circuits. We go into circuit editing, and maybe we want receptacles to show as a, I don't know, a light blue circuit, say. We could change that, maybe change our text to white, whatever you want. And then that'll change those 3 circuits to that. We can also change the coloring of the amperage. So if we go back into our circuit selection, we can change our amperage to basically whatever you want. But just as an example, I'm going to do something funky here just for fun. I don't know, something like that. That'll change our amperage numbers to something. Typically on this, you'd probably want to select all your circuits. Like you might want your amperage, instead of being black on white, you might want it something different. So we can select all our circuits with our select all circuits button. And then we could go into our circuit editing. Let's change our foreground color to white, say, and maybe medium gray. So now you see if we go out, all of our circuit amperages are now that dark gray with the white text. We can also change the coloring of our circuit numbers if we want. So if we scroll down, here's our circuit numbering or our font. So let's take our font size down a bit on our circuit numbering. Let's go ahead and make a white foreground again. Whoops. And make our background color, let's go with a pastel green. And back out, that'll change all our, oh, that's terrible. But anyway, you get what I'm doing here. So you can change the coloring however you want, font sizing on multiple circuits just by selecting them and going into the circuit editor and changing them. I got to change that right now because that's terrible. That's a little better. Anyway, and then deselect your circuits. So by using all these tools together, especially the panel legend screen and the selected circuit editing screen, you'll be able to create any kind of legend you want. So that's about it for Panel Legend. For the job module and the Panelboard module, we have separate tutorials to let you know how to use the calculator. The conversion and torque modules are quite simple, but I believe we have a manual for those. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel, as we are constantly posting refreshed video tutorials and news about new apps. And thanks for watching, and have a great day.